Hello, everybody. This is Jenny. I am back with you today. We are having another snow day from school, as you can see. I'm out here at the farm at my dad's house, and yeah, it's pretty snowy out here. So anyway, this is my 2025 goal video. I basically am doing this because I can hold myself accountable when I have this out there and people know what my goals are. I can go back and refer to this video to know what my goals are. So this is helpful for me. And if you want to follow me on this journey, hit subscribe and we will check in every month and see where we're at. So yeah, feel free to comment down below your goals for the year as well. I don't make New Year's resolutions. If you watched my video last year, I just kind of set goals. Last year, my overall goal, like the umbrella encompassing everything, was the same thing as this year. I just want to be a good steward of what God gives us. That may look like different things in different areas of my life. So as most New Year's goals go, we'll divide those kind of into categories. First category I'm going to talk about are my spiritual goals. Last year, if you watched my video, I set a goal to read my Bible more consistently. And I felt like I needed to read it again from, cover to cover, just to, familiarize myself with what is in the Bible, what God really says, and where to find things in the Bible. I've read the Bible before. I'm reading it again, and no, I'm not going to remember everything that I read. This is just, like I said, it helps me be connected with God. It helps me to discern when I hear something, if that's really biblical or not. So if you are a Christian and you have not read through the Bible, or if it has been a while, like I said, you can join me on this. If you're not, feel free to skip through to the next section. That's fine. But as a Christian, I feel like it's just important that I am familiar with what God says. So anyway, the previous years I hadn't been reading my Bible. Like, I don't even think I read it at all in 2023, other than while I was at Bible study or at church. So I started with the goal in mind last year in 2024 of reading the Bible through in 2 years. I was just kind of going to go and see how it went, how far I got, but I had no plans of getting it done in a year. I knew for me, I'm not a really fast reader, and I know that about myself. I'm okay with that, but I wanted something attainable, something I was going to stick with. So my goal last year was just consistency, kind of see where I'm at, assess and see if I thought I could do it in 2 years. Now, I did not quite make it halfway. It kind of depends on what standard you're measuring by, because sometimes people, like, you can divide it, by the middle verse of the Bible, or chapters or books or whatever. I made it close by probably more than one standard, but I'm okay with that. I still feel like it is attainable to read the rest of it in 2025. So my goal for this year is to finish reading through the Bible in 2025. Now, at church, we've kind of been challenged to read 30 minutes a day and read the Bible through twice in a year. I think the first time doing that, you're supposed to be able to get it done by like the end of May, and then another time in October, but that is not going to happen for me. I don't want to stop and restart from where I had already started last year. I am fine with continuing on with my own goals. So I feel like as long as a person is being consistent and trying to grow in their spiritual knowledge and stuff, like biblical knowledge, that it's okay to go ahead and do that. I mean, obviously it's okay. These are just goals. It was just a challenge. It's not a big deal. So my challenge for myself is this year to measure and make sure that I am doing better than before. I am planning to just read more days this year on my own than I did last year. And that should be easy for me to do because I kept a record last year. I wrote down every day that I read. and what I read, starting where, ending where each day. So I also have a record of how many days per month that I read. So to know that I am attaining that, I'm just going to okay, last year in 2024 in January, I read 15 days. So my goal for this year is to read 16 or more days in January. And as long as I do that, as long as I read more days than I did last year, then I know that I've improved on my consistency with the Bible reading. Now, some months are going to be really easy to beat. I think my lowest month, I only read the Bible 3 times on my own. So that month, I should surpass that. Honestly, it was like March or April. I have no idea why I read such a small amount at that time. But anyway, now, as far as the reading amount per day, while we've had these snow days, I have been doing the 30 minutes a day. But once we're back in school, I'm not sure 30 minutes is always going to be attainable for me. We'll see. I probably will read it. If it's 20 to 25 minutes, I'm probably going to call it a win. I'll probably call it a win after 15 minutes. But anyway, even if I just read it for 5 minutes, I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to bet this year I am keeping a record of how long I read each time. So I did add that to my record. So on that note, the biggest thing with setting goals and attaining them, if you really want to see how you're doing, keep good records. Make sure you keep a record. Make sure you have a solid, this is my goal. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm striving to do. And then how you're going to do it. Write down how exactly you're going to do it. So my goal this year is to continue reading through the Bible more consistently than I did last year. How am I going to do that? I'm going to read more days per month than I did last year in 2024. And then keep a record of how much you've done it so that you can see if you're beating that goal or achieving that goal. So moving on, I guess still on spiritual goals. I used to have a really rich prayer life. I kept a prayer journal, and I spent hours a day, literally hours a day with just me and God. With my schedule now, it's a little harder to do. But I would like to get back with that. I miss that. I saw mountains move during that time. Whole other vlog, not time for that now, but I really want to get back with that, just that time with God by myself. And I do pray. Don't get me wrong. I haven't given up praying, but the level of prayer that I was participating in before, that's what I want to get back to. And so even if I just get to do that one time a month, I think that's totally achievable. So that is my goal this year, is prayer journal, spend, a few hours with God, just me and God, one time a month. So moving on from there, I'm not really going to set any goals for school. I am in school right now. My goals for school is just to pass all my classes that I need to pass to stay in school. And if I do better than that, fantastic. But life doesn't stop. That is the reason I've chosen WGU for to get my teaching degree, because I can do it on my time. And so I'm going to continue on with that. Now, as far as being a better steward, last year, and this is why it's hard for me to separate into categories, because some of this stuff ties all together, like financially and, just mentally, all of those things. So, to save money, I want to make good use of what we have in our home for entertainment purposes, which I guess could classify as mental health improvement. So I have a lot of craft supplies that are not being used. So, last year I had several projects I wanted to finish. I only finished 2, which that's fine, because that was more than none. At the beginning of 2025, actually on January 2nd, I did buy 2 skeins of yarn. And my goal for this year is to use those 2 to make a cardigan. I also have a few other things that I have purchased, like supplies for So I still have that same list from last year. I've kind of marked through some things that didn't work out that I no longer want to complete. So I'm going to donate the supplies for that, but I will continue with the things that I do find worthwhile and that I would like to try. So I still have that same list. I'm going to keep plugging away at it. Same way with books. Now, last year, this was kind of a financial goal, kind of being a good steward goal. I was banned from buying wrapping paper, not only by my husband, but myself as well. And I did not buy any wrapping paper in 2024. If you know me, you know I love beautifully wrapped packages. I think that's as fun as what's inside. So, I did manage to not buy any in 2024 and use what I had. I still plan on using some of what I have next year. I may have to add to it a little bit. We'll just have to see closer to time. Depends on what I'm gifting and how many things I'm gifting. So, as far as not buying anything this year, I'm not going to buy myself any books unless the only exception to that is for my classroom library. If I find like I have a few Diary of a Wimpy Kid books that I'm still missing for my collection. So if I happen to find those like at a resale shop or on Marketplace or something, I will go ahead and pick those up. And that's okay, because I feel like it's completing something that I need for my classroom. It's fine. But as far as personally for me to read, I got several books for Christmas. I still had a stack I was working through. And with me being in school right now, I really don't have time to read for pleasure. It's like, I feel like every time I complete a class, I will take a short break and do something for me, like work on a craft project or read a book. And then I, jump into the next class. So I'm just kind of doing that for my mental health to keep me going, kind of motivates me to get through a class so that I can work on a project. So my no buy this year is books for myself. I will still buy them for gifts. I will possibly buy used ones for my classroom, but only if I can find certain ones. For gifts this year, for financial goals, guys, it is a tough time right now. With my time being so limited right now, I mean, one full-time job and then full-time school, that's all I can handle right now. I do sell Mary Kay. I do not sell enough Mary Kay to, make extra money to support my family. That's okay, as long as I can make enough Mary Kay to pay for my product that I use. I'm okay with that. I just don't have the time to sink into it that I did at one time. And like I said, that's fine. I basically just want to be able to pay for what I use. So I'm going to continue on with that, but I don't have any ways, I feel like right now, to bring money in. So I am going to try an app to scan, one of those receipt scanning apps where you get points. I'm going to try that to kind of supplement our gift budget. And I play the Discover cashback bonus, 5% cashback bonus game too. And last year that did help a bunch on paying for Christmas. I did most of my shopping on Amazon. I cashed in those points for Amazon gift cards. It was great. So anyway, actually, I think I ended up just buying things on my card and paying for it with cashback bonus, but whatever, you know what I mean. So I'm going to still do that. And then I do want to try one of the receipt things. But as far as like making actual income to supplement, I don't have time right now. And everything just keeps getting more and more expensive. So we're just going to, buckle down. The only things we can really even cut back on would be groceries, which is really difficult right now because I don't feel like we bought extravagantly anyway, but I'll try. And our gift budget. The gift budget can be cut. And I'm already doing that. If you watch my previous video, I did find a few deals. I'll continue to watch for things like that, but that's what it's going to be. It's not going to be buying off of somebody's wish list. I will think of what my family likes and will use, but it is what it is. So anyway, as far as my physical fitness, my health goals this year, I need to exercise for the next 2 months, I do not have time. Once the weather gets nicer, I would like to work that in, but I will figure that out on one of my goal check-ins. As for right now, I do not have a written goal for that. I do have a written dietary goal though, and that is to eat at least 1 raw vegetable per day and at least 1 raw fruit per day. So I do have that goal, and I plan to keep track of how many I'm eating, and when I get to the end of the month, I will assess, see how I did, and you know, baby steps, guys, baby steps. I don't drink a lot of soda. I don't have a lot of that to cut out. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I drink some, but not enough that if I cut it, it would make a significant difference in my life. Like, I do drink water. I drink quite a bit of water. So as far as those things, I'm not cutting carbs. I'm not doing that. Like, we have to live. We have to buy groceries we can afford, like baby steps. You know, these are my goals. This is where I'm starting. If I decide, like I said, I'm going to check in once a month. I hope to see you there, and we will just assess where we're at and help motivate each other to keep going. So anyway, I hope that you like this video, and like I said, subscribe. I do gift guides. I do book reviews. Yeah, just kind of random fun shorts of my cat, you know. Anyway, yeah, I'd love to have you join me on this goal. I apologize for the shakiness of my video. The last one I filmed, I actually had my tripod / monopod in the car with me. I don't have it now. This is kind of random. I didn't know I was going to go ahead and film another one, but I thought, hey, I'm out here by myself, no interruptions. Now's the time. So anyway, hope you can join me. Bye.